Class 9 English, Supplementary Reader, Chapter 1, The Lost Child, Part 1. Good morning. Today, children, we are going to do the first chapter of your Supplementary English, The Lost Child. The story is about a child who goes to a fair with his parents. There is full of excitement in the fair, but his parents refused to buy him things. He wanted them so much. But when somebody offers to buy the things he wanted, he refuses. Why? Let's find out. It was a festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes. Narrow lanes and alleys, by streets and streets, emerged a gaily clad humanity. The people who came out of the lanes and bylanes, alleys, they were clad gaily, very happily. They looked happy and they looked beautiful. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in a bamboo and bullock carts. So this is how people are coming. Some are walking, some were riding horses, some were being carried in bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. So here we have a little boy. He is running in between his father's legs. Running in between his father's legs means he is very small. He is so small that he was running in between his father's legs. And he was very happy. "Come, child, come," called his parents, as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. So the child is seeing so many toys, so many things that he wanted, and so fascinated by them, charmed by them, he was lagging behind the parents, and so the parents are calling, "Come, child, come." He hurried towards the parents, his feet obedient to their call. His feet obedient to their call. He wanted to have the toys. His eyes were looking on at the toys, but his feet was obedient to the parents. He is doing what the parents are saying, but his heart is somewhere, his eyes are somewhere. His eyes still lingering on the receding toys. Receding toys because he is going towards the parents, the toys are receding. As he came to where he had stopped to wait for them, he could not suppress the desire of his heart. Even though he knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. "I want that toy," he pleaded. See, the child knew that the father is not going to buy. He knew, but still he could not stop expressing his desire. "I want that toy," he pleaded. His father looked at him, red-eyed, in his familiar tyrant's way. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him her finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what is before you? Now." The child knows that the father is not going to buy, and the father looked at him red-eyed. Red-eyed shows anger in his familiar tyrant's way. That means the father is always like that, no? He's always refusing what the boy asks. But the mother, look at the difference between the father and the mother. His mother is melted by the free spirit of the day. She is melted by what she sees, and she is tender, and she gives him her finger to hold and says, "Look what's before you." She is trying to divert the attention of the child. It was a flowering mustard field, pale pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. So what does she sow to the child? She sows a mustard field, pale like melting gold. That means the mustard field is flowering. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly. A group of dragonflies. You have seen dragonflies flying, no? And they were bustling about in their gaudy purple wings. Even the dragonflies seem to be very happy. They are dressed as gaudily as the people. They intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. Flowers of the mustard flowers, the butterfly or the black bee comes, but the dragonflies are intercepting them. This is a description of the mustard field. The child followed them in the air with his gaze. He followed not with his feet, but with his eyes. Before, he followed the parents with his feet. His eyes were on the toys. Now, he is following the insects with his gaze, with his eyes. Okay? Till one of them would still its wings and rest. Still its wings means will stop flapping its wings and rest. He would try to catch it. So when one of them stops flying and stands somewhere, he is going to catch it. When the wings are still, when the wings are not moving. But it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air. When he had almost caught it in his hands, so he tried to catch. He almost caught, but it flapped away. It flapped its wings and flew away. Then his mother gave a cautionary call. Come, child, come. Come on to the footpath. So the mother is taking care of the child. She is calling out to the child, come on to the footpath. Don't go astray. He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them for a while. Being, however, soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. So that is full of fascination. Everything seemed to be fascinating the child. Now, what is fascinating the child? The insects and worms that were coming along the footpath. Okay, the insects were also coming to enjoy the sunshine. So now he is fascinated by the insects. Before he was fascinated by the toys, then he was fascinated by the dragonflies and other insects on the mustard field. And now he is fascinated by the insects which were coming out along the footpath. Come, child, come, his parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. So the parents were already taking rest. They were sitting there, and the child ran towards the parents. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as they entered the grove. And forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents, shouting, "The dove, the dove!" The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So he was running towards the parents. And as he entered the grove, he started collecting the petals of the flowers that fell upon him. He found enjoyment. He found pleasure in collecting the petals that fell on him. But then he was again diverted. His mind was attracted by the cooing of doves. And then he said, "The dove," and the petal of flowers fell from his hands. Come, child, come, they called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. So now they were coming to the mustard fields. And where are they going now? They are going to the fair. They took the winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. As they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. Now here, an altogether scene he sees. He is coming towards a fair, and there were many other footpaths full of people, and he was at once repelled as well as fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. Now he sees an altogether different world. Today we are going to do up to here. Please read once again. Go to the part of the chapter that we have done today, and please do some homework. I'll be sending you the homework, but just listen to the homework. The first question is, what is the difference you see between the mother and the father of the child? And the second question is, what are the things which fascinated the child on his way to the fair? Just do these two questions, write it out neatly in your notebook, and send it. You can ask me your doubts if there is any. So please do the needful. Thank you. Have a nice day.